I'm very happy to present a field experiment to you in which we investigated the impact of monetary incentives versus environmental appeals on resource conservation. So we did not only test the incentives or appeals in isolation, but also in combination with consumption feedback. In our study, we targeted one specific everyday activity, namely showering. Why? Because showering is very energy intensive. So 1 second in the shower uses more energy than one MacBook Air, for instance, uses per hour. Our interventions looked as follows. First, we had appeals with either environmental motives or financial incentives. So for instance, speaking of financial incentives, participants received a text message in which we said to the participant that the participants gets the money back from resource conservation. So we gave an incentive there to save. Then we had 2 types of consumption feedback. First, outcome consumption information and real-time feedback. Real-time feedback was given at the place of action as we had a display in the shower mounted. Regarding data collection, we recruited 399 participants out of 3 student dorms. And the students do not pay for the marginal use of resource consumption. So there naturally is no financial reason for energy conservation. The participants belonged to 1 out of 5 groups. So we had there 3 treatment groups, a financial group, an environmental group, a general group with no particular framing, and 2 control groups we merged at our analysis. How does the study design now looks like? So as we recruited the participants, we installed at each participant's apartment 1 shower meter. So every participant had 1 shower with a shower meter. And the device records basic information about the shower per shower. So for instance, the energy used for the warm water or the water usage. And we have a baseline phase and different intervention phase. So first of all, for the very first 10 showers, every participant sees only the water temperature on the device screen. The control group sees that for the whole experiment. However, the treatment groups after 10 showers receive a text message either with a financial framing or an environmental framing. There's also the 3rd group receives a welcome message. Then thereafter, after 7 showers, they in addition receive consumption feedback every time they've showered. So there's still a framing there and consumption figures. Again, after 7 showers, real-time feedback is given on the display. So they have the combination of the outcome consumption feedback and the real-time feedback and the framing. After a while, we do not longer send text messages and there's also only the real-time feedback. We investigate the impact of the behavioral interventions by means of a differential framework. So we use a fixed effects panel data regression. So with individual fixed effects and fixed time effects, and as dependent variable, we have the heat energy consumption per shower. So how does the savings now look like? We have in the very first phase, where only 1 appeal is given, only savings for the monetary group. And this effect is marginally statistically significant. In the combination with outcome consumption feedback, all of the groups do now save. And this is even stronger if we additionally give real-time feedback to the participants. However, it's not statistically significant different to the previous phase. This effect with the real-time feedback diminishes after a while a little bit. And in the absence of outcome consumption feedback, only the monetary and environment group save. So how to summarize that? In the absence of feedback, only financial incentives do work. If feedback is given, all groups do save, and feedback can be much more cost effective if one does not give financial incentives. That's it. Bye now. See you soon.